So Netanyahu is doing a lot of the dirty work right now. He's doing ethnic cleansing, he's waging the wars, he's doing everything that he needs to do to weaken the axis of resistance. He's going to be useful to the Israeli government to get as many of these guys gone, a lot of these Palestinians. And then one of two things is going to happen to Netanyahu. Either A, they're going to put him in an Israeli prison and say, look, we gave him justice. Or they're going to turn him over to the ICC. They are going to have to make an example of him to get some type of international respect back. This is what's going to happen. This is my prediction on what's going to happen with our guy, Mr. Netanyahu or whatever. So what's going to happen with him, chat, is I predict, obviously, he's part of the Likud party. The Likud party, for those of you that don't know, is like their Republican party. But a lot of them are very far right, aka pro-war, pro-murder, pro-getting rid of the Palestinians. They want them gone. They want to ethnically cleanse them, okay? Because they understand that as long as the Palestinians are there, they're never going to be able to live in total peace, okay? And they know that the Palestinians are going to continue to resist. So they need them gone. So Netanyahu is doing a lot of the dirty work right now, okay? He's doing ethnic cleansing, he's waging the wars, he's doing everything that he needs to do to weaken the axis of resistance. So what's going to happen is he's going to be useful to them, right, to the Israeli government to get as many of these guys gone, right? A lot of these Palestinians. And what's going to happen is once they take over Gaza, the axis of resistance is weakened, and maybe even Iran is toppled, then they're going to go ahead and do a rebrand. They're going to bring in another fucking prime minister that's able to, I want to make peace with the Palestinians. Not true. I want to do a two-state solution. Not true. They're never going to allow a two-state solution, by the way. And they're going to feign diplomacy with a new prime minister that's going to condemn the actions of Netanyahu. And then one of two things is going to happen to Netanyahu. Either A, they're going to put him in an Israeli prison, right? And say, look, we gave him justice. Or they're going to turn him over to the ICC. Now, I don't predict that they're going to give him to the ICC. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to get arrested by the ICC. I don't think he'll ever be tried. But they are going to have to make an example of him to get some type of international respect back. And the only way that I could foresee them doing this is they're going to need to jail Netanyahu, condemn him, and then the person that comes in needs to be politically and ideologically completely opposite of him in front of the camera. That's the key word. That's the key. He needs to be completely politically and ideologically opposite of Netanyahu on camera. He's got to condemn all his actions, say Israel's going to change, we're making a difference, we're not going to be the same, blah, 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 all this other bullshit. So that's what I predict is going to happen, chat. Once everything is done, the axis of resistance is either destroyed or completely dismantled and inoperable. And once Gaza is taken over and there's no use for Netanyahu to be the bad guy anymore, I predict that he will be sacrificed and used as a scapegoat for Israel to do a complete rebrand. And they're going to bring in another politician as prime minister that is completely, politically and ideologically different from Netanyahu. He's going to condemn all his actions. He's going to call what happened in Gaza genocide. He's going to say, let's start a new chapter, and he's going to feign diplomacy. Keyword, feign diplomacy. He's not going to really do it. He's not going to really do a two-state solution. He's not going to really help the Palestinians. He's just going to do what other prime ministers have done in the past. Yeah, we'll do a somewhat two-state solution. We'll create like an Arab board. We'll create an Arab league. But y'all will never have a military. You guys will never control your airspace. You guys will never control your sea or seas. You guys will never be able to mount a real threat to us ever. We will always have the military and political advantage. You guys are always going to be a minority. So that's what's going to happen. That's my prediction. Give me ones if you guys agree. Give me twos if you guys disagree. But I predict that's what they're going to do within the next 10 years. And it's honestly the only way that they'll be able to save any type of face. They're going to have to sacrifice Netanyahu and make him the scapegoat and bring in somebody else. That's it. Don't get it twisted. Their reputation is cooked. Don't think this is going to save them. But their reputation, that's how they're going to rebrand. That's my prediction.